Hello, my beautiful people. I am back at it again. Um, with this video, I'm gonna just hop straight into it. This is just I'm being vulnerable or transparent. This will be, yeah. I'm back at it at the park. I already know how it go. I love to be in nature. Um, I got some notes here, and I just want to talk about being in survival mode because so many of us are, including me. And I'm transitioning out of that. And I want to share some of the things that I have gotten downloads from and just epiphanies that I've had, and from like videos that I watch or podcasts. I took notes. I really just, let me just be honest, like lately, especially since like making my first video, like I just been trying to make sure that all my ducks are in a row, trying to make sure that everything falls in line, everything is perfect before I make another video. I have to be like this and this before I make another video. My hair has to be like this, my nails have to be done, things have to be in. The whole purpose of me even making this channel was to be authentic, was to be my truest self, no matter what that looked like. Even if I am looking a little crusty, whatever the case may be, you know, I want to get out of that. That's like a trauma response to like being a perfectionist. Like everything has to be perfect before I do something. Like I have to be ready before I do something. Like that is part of being in survival mode, because being in you're surviving from something, right? So that comes from you being in a time in your life where you feel like you had to survive to cope, instead of like just living life, which it happens. So things that I wrote down are things that kind of like feed the fire when you in the loop of just surviving and not really living and being happy and loving life, and falling in love with life and loving the things that you do to make money. Because I know that half the world does not like to get up at 7-8 o'clock in the morning to be at work at 9. I know I don't. Last thing I want to do is get up early to go do something for someone else every single day just to make money, when it's not even something I'm happy doing. I quit my job because of that. I didn't even have like a stressful job or anything, but I don't like the mindset that 9 to 5s put you in. Like money is scarce. Like you gotta work so hard to build yourself up, and that's not really the case. Like the fact that the positions of authority when it comes to 9 to 5s, usually generally like the general manager, associate, like just team lead, whatever the case may be, and the responsibilities that these people have, it just makes you feel like it just makes you feel small. Like I don't know, like you can just never do enough. Like you call off sick one day and the world is ending at work. They don't want you to call off sick. They don't want you to have no vacations. They don't want you to live. They want you to live to work. That's what they want you to do. And I don't like that, because I like to be free. I can't live life in a box or in a prison. I can't do it. It's so depressing. I would rather wake up at 9 and leave at 5 and be doing something that I love. Limiting beliefs are something that will keep you in survival mode. And I know that personally, I will tell you that, because that's still something that I am transitioning out of too, is having limiting beliefs. Like, I'm not good enough to be this way, and like to be great, to be successful, to be rich, to be wealthy, to have the life that I want. And that's another thing 9 to 5s will do. That they'll, like, based on your experience and the skills that you have, this is the job that you can get, and it's not paying what you worth, it's not the environment that you are worth. It just makes you feel like you can't do enough to be great. Like, I don't really know how else to explain that. It's just not a system I want to belong to, personally. And just to, like, describe what a limiting belief is, I wrote that down too. It is a negative or fear-based belief that restricts an individual's potential, preventing them from pursuing their goals or realizing their full potential. I just described my whole limiting belief right there. I'm not good enough. That's a limiting belief. Because who told me that? Whoever said, no, you can't, you're not good enough to be great, you can't do that, like, you. And then how are there people on this earth that are great? And people that come from not so great things too. People that come from struggle. People that come from having nothing up to being millionaires and creating huge successes for themselves and their families. Like, no, it doesn't come out of thin air. It starts from here. Stay with me. Stay with me. I know it's not easy, but it's easier than we make it. But that's the first one on my list right here. I don't even know if y'all can see that because it's in cheetah print, but it says, I'm not good enough. I can't do hard or challenging things. I'm too old, or I'm too young. I don't have enough time. I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough money. I'm not equipped or fit for that role. Or just, like, just self-judgment in general is a huge limiting belief that I know people personally that struggle with this. I know it's some of y'all that, struggle with thinking this too, because I did too. We are put here to be faced with challenges, to make mistakes so that we can learn. Our purpose as a human race is to learn and grow and change. When you're not doing that, you're stagnant and you're stuck and you're not happy, because that's what you're meant to do. Whether that's spiritually, like physically changing something, your environment, or whatever the case is, that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to create, learn, and experience. That is the purpose of a human being. Whatever that looks like to you, good or bad, it is in divine alignment. Money is the root of all evil. That is a limiting belief. The truth of that is, money is neutral and very abundant. Money is energy. You have to work hard to make money. You do not have to work hard to make money. You don't have to be out here breaking a sweat, pushing yourself to the last drop of energy that you have. Like, you don't have to do all of that to make good money. Like working at a plant or DTE or whatever the case is. Don't, just because it works for someone else, don't let that person or anyone else convince you that that is your path if you genuinely feel like that does not resonate with you and that is not your path. Because that's how I feel. That is not, personally, that's not my path. My life, my future does not look like that when I visualize. So yeah, effort is important when it comes to making money. Yes, It is important. The actual do, the actual inspired action of doing things to create, to make money, things that you are passionate about. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be things that you're passionate about. It could be things that you are really good at and that you like doing. If it makes you really good money, at least be content with where you're at and not being in a stressful environment that's taken away from your mental health. What is important is alignment, strategy, and mindset. That is the most powerful things that you need to make money, you know? Being in alignment with your purpose or your higher self. Being strategic with your moves and the things that you plan out to create the life that you want, or the future, or the job, career, whatever it may be. Have a plan. And your mindset, is it powerful enough to carry you through? Are you consistent? Are you dedicated? Are you disciplined enough to stick to it and continue to do it until you see true success? That's something I struggle with, is just being consistent. Obviously y'all see that already, but that's a struggle for me because of perfectionism. If I feel like if I'm going through a hard time or a space where I'm just like, okay, I haven't figured this out yet, and I'm kind of like, I need clarity on something, I don't want to come make a video and then blah 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 blah, because everything is not perfect. Like that, the world, I will never actually do anything if I have to be ready first. Like, you never know when you're ready, you just do it. Rich people are greedy and selfish. Another limiting belief, because no, they're not. Rich people are, wealthy people are generous. People of wealth, let me say that. Wealth does not determine character. Most likely, if you get rich and if someone of that character, of that negative connotation, they were most likely like that before they got the money, and it just amplified it because now they have power, a sense of power. Yeah. Just say that. There's not enough to go around. Like, there's not enough money to make. Like, you are defined by making $1,000 every 2 weeks. That is, you can do more. There is more for you out there. Yeah. So another one would be, there's not enough money to go around. Like, money is scarce. Like the rich 1% own all of the money, or money is like, what do they be saying? Money, I don't know, like we in debt or something. There's enough money, plenty of money to go around. That, having that mindset is having a scarcity mindset, believing that things are scarce, like you are poor. That is called a poor man's mindset, scarcity. Something that I am working out of too. Thinking that I don't have enough, or I will never have enough for that, or I can't afford something. Those beliefs will keep you from affording the things that you really want. And even in the modern economy, it literally operates on expansion and abundance. Money is abundance. Abundance is energy. Abundant energy is rooted in trust, gratitude, and openness. The feeling of being supported, your needs being met, and that there's more than enough of what you desire. Abundance embodies alignment, gratitude, and wholeness. Being whole, not searching without yourself outside of yourself for answers. It's within. And you are fulfilled because you are doing the things that you really want to do. When you are aligned with abundance, you will be aligned with your higher self, because your higher self is abundant. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions will reflect truth and love. Abundance cannot be chased. I noticed that I was just like desperation, like desperately wanting something. You are like pushing it away, literally swinging back, just pushing it to the furthest quarters of the earth, being desperate and craving it and wanting it so badly. Literally just the energy of wanting. Your most powerful thought is what will be created in your reality. Just wanting it will push it away. Abundance is, you can't chase abundance. It comes from within you. Having everything that you, knowing that you have everything that you need. You already have it. Your needs will always be met if you trust in the Most High, whoever that may be to you. You have to remind yourself to stay open and receptive to new opportunities and guidance from Source or God. When you appreciate what you have, you anchor yourself in spiritual wealth. Just simply being grateful for what you already have. You have abundance of spiritual wealth. Just being grateful. That will attract blessings, because that is the energy that you're putting out. So that is the energy that you will receive. It's just how the world works. I don't make the rules. I'm just the messenger. Abundance can come from the heart. That is usually the thing that closes us off from being abundant, is because that's where trauma is stored. And simply being grateful opens a portal, opens a door for you to receive things that you want, because you are letting go of things that hold you back from getting what you want, whether that's a belief or pain or trauma. Yeah, abundance will remind you that you are already whole and lacking nothing. You are qualified. You have the skills. You have the mindset. You have the capacity to be great. It's already within you. The only thing that's stopping you is you believing that you can't do it. It's you. Nothing else. And now I know not to be insensitive about struggle, because I know that we all deal with real struggle, and I know there's people out here that have it worse than me, and I hate to compare struggles, but it's just what it is. And I know that, and everybody has that's why everyone has their own timeline, because everyone has their complete different experiences unique to your perspective, the way that you look at life, the way that you look at yourself. Working harmoniously with God and with your will and thy will get you to great places in life, because you are not being too independent and believing that you have to do everything on your own, that everything is a result of just action and not the creator being involved in that as well. It's duality. It's both you and God, you and Source. When you operate from love instead of fear, you naturally attract more abundance. Abundance comes from within. Wrote that down. You're in alignment with abundance. This is how you know. When you receive unexpected, or they can be expected, but when you actually receive them, when you're actually experiencing these opportunities and blessings and synchronicities as well. When you have inner peace, when you are generous without fear of losing or not having enough for you, when you are not fearful of losing, whatever the case may be, money, your job, or whatever the case is. I'm not saying give to the point where you don't have enough for yourself, but don't have a fear of not having enough. Sure, you can count your money and count the things that you do have to make sure that, being smart about it. I'm not saying don't be smart, but having the fear of losing will hold you back. Just saying. And I know that from personal experience. No shots are thrown. Creative flow and inspiration will come easy. A sense of being divinely guided will be apparent when you are in alignment with abundance. Yeah, one of the most common ways abundance can be blocked is when we are in survival mode. This can stem from childhood trauma. The trauma can keep you in survival mode by rewiring your nervous system to constantly perceive the world as unsafe. This is also known as chronic stress or hypervigilance. Can we just get into that real quick? Ugh, stress. That is the last thing that I want for any of us, because that is stress kills. Whether we want to believe it or not, stress weighs on your heart, and your heart literally ignites passion in life. When you are stressing, it weighs on your heart and your health, your physical health, and you start to deteriorate from the inside by the things that weigh you down, because you are not letting go and being present and breathing. I don't even think we realize that we are not even really breathing, like, especially when we are in survival mode or in high stress situations, like clenching your jaw and like just holding your shoulders up and just being really tense, and like you're not really breathing. I don't know if you realize that, but I struggle with that too. I used to, until I started to meditate and do breath work. But I used to struggle with that too, like just even grinding my teeth at night. I was stressed in my sleep. Couldn't even sleep. This is why it's so important to let go. Even if it's hard, you either have to forgive yourself for what you did, or for even tolerating something that you may have gone through, or forgive the other person, or both. And forgiveness is not for the other person. And I know you've heard this before, because it is true. It is for you. Yes. So, as I was saying, forgiveness is for you, your own mental health. Trauma can, really take over and leave your mind in fight, flight, or freeze, constantly scanning for danger, having irrational thinking, feeling unsafe, uneasy, or untrusting, even if you are in a peaceful environment. I have experienced that as well. Your core beliefs are shaped by fear and lack, not feeling safe, doing everything yourself, as I was just saying, and feeling unworthy of love and success. The unconscious pattern influences our choices, our self-worth, and our relationships. And I will get heavier into like inner child healing and dealing with your inner child and being in survival mode, really surrounding childhood trauma. I'll get into that deeper in part 2. There's going to be multiple parts, because things that we do that may be a result of that is overwork, people pleasing, making yourself small to fit into society or a group of people, silencing yourself to not be seen as a burden, struggle with boundaries, feeling guilty for resting, tying yourself to tying your value to being productive or being of perfection. Yeah, I've most definitely struggled with every last thing that I just mentioned heavily. And yeah, abundance may feel unsafe or unfamiliar, especially if you grew up without emotional or financial stability. Receiving abundance can look suspicious. Like, do I really deserve this? Can this really happen for me? You know, it may look a little like too good to be true. It's not. It's not. It's your ego telling you that. Your ego's trying to trick you. Let me stop. But that's what I say to myself when I know my ego is just like, no, you don't deserve that. Did you work hard enough for that? Like, girl, I'm not listening to you because I know I can be great regardless of the things that I have gone through. I choose to let them hold me back. They themselves, things in the past that have already happened, cannot hold me back. And in my next video, I will talk more about how trauma is stored in the body, and things like this are all important to note when you are talking about being in survival mode, because these are things that can hold you back from having the life that you want, or just living and being happy with the life that you already have. So thank you for watching part 1. You know, I always appreciate you guys and your support. I love you so much. And yeah, it's about to get real. And I'm gonna also be transparent about my traumatic experiences as well. So, yeah, gratitude, endless gratitude to my supporters and my fans and my watchers, whoever you may be. Ashe. Peace.